My name's Father Dennis Gang. Today again I'm coming to you from 21 Commerce Street, Clinton, Connecticut, the Captain Dibble House, which is my sister-in-law Mary Claire, and my mother Grace, and Hannah and Elliot's home, the former home of my younger brother Michael, who passed away. Normally I also preach from the gospel, but today I feel the Acts of the Apostles is appropriate, so let me read that from Acts 8. There broke out a severe persecution of the church in Jerusalem, and all were scattered throughout the countryside of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles. Devout men buried Stephen and made a loud lament. Excuse me. Saul, meanwhile, was trying to destroy the church, entering the house after house and dragging off men and women. He handed them over for imprisonment. Yet today, the Catholic Church is again facing persecution here in the United States. I guess back in the beginning of the country, we faced persecution. There were signs Catholics not made apply, even in New York City, for a job. But today, what's happening is our government has said, not only for Catholics, but anyone who wants to practice religion outside the door of the church will no longer be allowed to put it into practice. We've already seen that, and the secular world has done a good job. It's taken away things like, well, you don't say Merry Christmas anymore. You know how it's Happy Holidays, or holiday season. I don't know if that's hunting or fishing. I like to fish. Baseball season, of course, it could be. But no, season's greetings. So then what else? Well, Easter is the Easter Bunny. Don't you dare mention Christ. And then, well, you name it. I remember recently being in a protest about the HHS mandate, and there were cameras there from newspapers, and there were TV cameras, but not a word was on the news when you went to read about it. I guess they thought, well, if there's a protest, we'll put it on. I've taken part, and maybe you have too, in the March for Life. There's never any broadcasting of that event anymore. And again, maybe if there's a protest, they would. So the church, the Christian body, is used to persecution. Matter of fact, what happens is we grow in persecution. So if the Supreme Court doesn't throw out this unlawful mandate, and for me or others who protest that are put in jail, our university in Steubenville, Ohio, has said we will not go along with the mandate. We will not just civilly disobey, but we're willing to risk everything because our faith is more important than the government. And that's what Jesus told us. Give to Caesar what is Caesar, but to give to God what is God. And God has our conscience, not the government. They can't tell us what to do. So I don't know about you listening to this podcast, what you're willing to risk. But if you want to be faithful, you might be martyred. If you want to be faithful, you have to stand up and say it's wrong. It's not about birth control. That's an issue. But it's about freedom of religion. Freedom of religion is a right that this Constitution gave us. That's why we left. The Pilgrims left because they were persecuted. They came to this country to set up a country free from persecution. Well, you can't. Our government says no. We're going to persecute if you don't obey our mandates. We're God. But brothers and sisters, the government's not. The government's a liar. The government's got to change. Unless the government does change, the executive branch, then either the legislature or the Supreme Court has to correct the government, not the churches, not the faithful. May God bless you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.